What is going on, guys? Predator458 here, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to Armored Warfare, where today we are going to be looking at the T-72 Ural, the Tier 5 main battle tank. Now, this is post-commentary content today. When I was recording these games, I just kind of wasn't feeling like doing live commentary, and then I just, shadow played the ones that were good. To show with you anyway, and I'd rather do it like this, where if it was something where I wasn't really in the mood to do live comms, that I'd rather do post commentary rather than coming across with slightly duller commentary. But anyways, we're doing our Armored Warfare content a little bit different today. If you've watched some other videos, you know that I tend to start off with a garage section, looking at some of the statistics of the tank, the penetration, the damage, all that of the shells. But because I would like to cover 2 matches in a video, it does tend to make the video go a bit long. 20 minutes is quite a long video. So I thought instead today let's try and just go straight into the action, and you guys can let me know in the comments down below, which do you prefer? Do you prefer me heading straight in? Do you like the garage portion? Should I maybe do the garage portion and only then do 1 game to keep the video shorter? Anyways, let me know, because obviously I care what you guys think and what you guys want, but today we're trying this. We're heading straight into battle. Now, if you look up at the teams on each side, you can see the enemy team has a lot of chieftains, which can be difficult to deal with, because if they can get into a good position, they are notoriously difficult to kill, and they have a hell of a lot of health and a very good gun. We, on the other hand, our gun is good. It's not as accurate as a chieftain, and here we got our first victim. Is he going to let us get a shot off? Indeed he is, and we can just sneak one into the side of his hull, the upper portion. If you go for slightly lower down the hull, you can actually not penetrate a lot of time. So that little strip, you can kind of see the different, and he is waiting, and he gets a shot off. Nearly 400 damage. And we've just got to move this panel back, because they keep moving all over the place. But that's something that's going to be fixed in the next patch, 0.11. But speaking of 0.11, the T-72 and the T-72A are both underperforming in some areas, mainly their armor, especially. And there we go, we're trying to go again for the softer upper part of a side hull. Unfortunately, we don't get a penetration, but we bounce from him. Now, with regards to the armor on the T-72, and indeed its T-72A counterpart at Tier 6, your hull armor, your upper front plate is quite good. It's quite thick, it's well sloped, but your lower front plate, and we just can't get the gun aimed in time. We do manage to get a module hit on his gun, but nothing too serious. Your lower front plate is rubbish. Truth be told, it's rubbish. But the main problem comes with your turret armor, and that I believe the armor around your gun mantlet is not actually there. Your gun mantlet has 0 armor, and a lot of people on the forums report that even 20mm autocannons can penetrate your gun mantlet and do damage. Now, I was considering charging up the hill here, but I decided against it, and we're going to back up. Partly going to see if we can try and get a shot onto this M60A3, but then I think we are going to hook a right and head up the little road. And there he is. We do not take the shot. He was moving around a little bit too much. Well, not really, but I just held the shot too long, hoping he would slow down a bit or go in a straight line, but he didn't do it, and the window closed. So we're going to just break through this little wall here. You guys can send the bill to the Soviet Union. They'll take care of it. And we're going to push up here, and we're going to engage the Starship, M60A3, and a Chieftain, I believe. But a lot of people actually say that the T-72 Ural they preferred it to the T-72A, because the gun on the Ural felt better for Tier 5 than the gun on the A feels at Tier 6. And I actually kind of disagree with that. I've been enjoying the T-72A a little bit more. And here I think comes the Starship. We could have taken a shot at the cupola, but we wait, and it looks like he's just putting his booty over We get 504 damage on an overmatch, and someone else finishes him off. Here we got the M60A3 coming up, lower front plate. He hits our track, we do 146 damage to finish him off. And now we're going to come around this corner, and there is going to be a low health chieftain. And he takes a shot at our rear and somehow manages to bounce. We're going to aim for his hull armor. Thankfully, we do not bounce. So 2 kills. And we've got another chieftain to deal with here. But he is reversing and trying to get out of there. And obviously, gun depression on these T series of tanks is not particularly good. And we got an ERC, and we take a shot at him, but I think the chieftain just moved up and ate our shell with the barrel of his gun. But another weakness of the T-72, and we take a shot from the ERC, we try to get through the turret ring of the chieftain, and this is like the accuracy of the gun's not great, so at slightly longer ranges, which is what I describe as this situation, hitting the turret ring of a chieftain is not always easy. But yeah, the two main weaknesses of this tank, apart from its bugged armor, is the take a shot, and there we go. We managed to hit that one, you know, sneak over the the tiny little space we had to go over the mountain, and we managed to put it in. But it's the gun depression and the fact that this is an autoloader. Now I decided to wait here instead of using my repair kit, and that was quite possibly a mistake, and these damn damage panels moving around again. But the autoloader is another weakness, if you ask me, because for one, and there's some fucking, that is some badass lag that I get sometimes, where I've come around corners, fired at a tank that has been in front of me and it's disappeared because it wasn't actually there. But we're racing to try and get this kill. You do have to worry about the ERC, still on 300 health. He's turning his turret, and we managed to fire a shot in and hit just behind where the applique armor is. But the autoloader is also a problem because your reload time is 9.5 seconds, which is longer than the competition, but because it's an autoloader, you can't even improve the crew skill to bring it down because there is no loader. So you are at 9.5 seconds for this one and the T-72A, I believe, and there's nothing you can do about it. 9.5 seconds, done and dusted. But anyways, we've done 2100 damage, only taken 1200 in return. This match is coming to an end for us. There's a T-72 here. We are going to do something a little bit that was a bit silly. We pop over, try and get a shot into his side, back up before he finishes us off, but unfortunately we're not able to get out of the way in time, so he gets the kill. But we do bring our damage up to 2644. It's 4v4 now, so let's go off to the results and see which team manages to win. And indeed, it was the enemy team that pulled out the victory, and unfortunately we lost. But it was still a good game, still a fun game, still enjoyed it, did a good amount of damage. 2100 reputations, not bad at all on a defeat. 120,000 credits, again not bad on a defeat. 2600 damage, as I said. Also managed to do 1800 spotting damage, spotting 8 enemy vehicles, and we earned ourselves the Iron Star. We came obviously first place on experience by about 200 points, third place on damage by about 200 points less than the T-72 in first place. And that chieftain on the enemy team with just under 5,000 damage did damn well. Second place in terms of damage is 2.5, so we did manage to beat the second place damage guy by a little bit. So not a bad match. I enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed watching it. But now it has come time to move on to our second gameplay video. And yeah, let's hope that maybe that one goes a little bit better. Alright, and welcome to game number 2, where we are on Ghost Field. Now, I'm just kind of sitting here waiting to see what my team does. I'm going to start looking around and seeing if I head straight down, am I going to have support? Indeed I am, so I begin moving. Now, this match we did play a little bit differently, my team. A lot of the time, you know, the people who come to this area, we kind of stop and we try and snipe the enemy from across the airfield, you know, where they're doing the same thing. However, this team played super aggressively, which was really awesome. And we pushed straight down into the airfield area and were able to get to work on the enemy team. See, a lot of the time, normally, I would stop, right about this area, get behind some of these rocks and take shots at the enemy who are doing a similar thing on the other side of the runway. But I see this Crusher guy in the M60A3, he's moving up, so I'm like, what the hell, let's go for it. Got a little bit of Stingray support here. Going to move forward, and we are going to have a shot at that T-72, but I just couldn't find a nice penetration marker, so I held my fire and didn't take a shot. Considered going for the cupola of the Chieftain, but the Stingray then moved forward and blocked the shot, which was probably for the better, because that would have only done 150 odd damage. Our track eats a shot from the T-72. We are a little bit in the open here. We take 437 damage from one of them, but these guys do have our teammates all up in their face. We're going to put one through the lower plate of the other T-72, and both times we've got a slightly better damage roll than the enemy. We have lost a fair amount of health though. Kind of misplayed that. I probably should have gone straight and actually gone into some, or gone straight for cover, should I say, and tried to get into some proper cover, especially for my lower front plate, but we didn't, so we've paid the price. We've lost over half our health, but we have still done a little bit more damage than we received, so not too bad, we'll take it. Chieftain destroys that T-72. We've now got that Chieftain. We put a shot through his turret ring for 464 damage, and I think we go for his, no, but I think we also did damage to his breech and his gun itself, but not enough to knock it out of action. But now he's on very low health. We're pushing up. Stingray's got a shot. He's got 1 health left, and the Fox finishes him off with a well-placed auto-cannon round. But now you can see this flank for the enemy team has completely vanished. Our team on the other side of the map is kind of holding them at bay, and this was actually, I didn't even notice, this is a tier 6 game. As you can see, there's some tier 6 artillery, Terminators, which are very dangerous, MBT 70, which we all know is very dangerous. I take a shot at where I expect his outline was going to be, but it was unfortunately covered up by the landscape, so we didn't get any hit there. And we do have to be quite careful, because those MBT 70s, we do kind of know that that shell will wipe out most of my health if he penetrates. And there is an M6A3. We're not spotted, we're just looking for somewhere we can shoot. We don't get an indicator, we don't take the shot. Just waiting to see if he's coming out again. And we take a shot at the sort of cupola area of the MBT-70, but unfortunately no joy. We do now move forward. Like, that area was not a good place for me to sit. Because of my gun depression, I had to be on top of that hill to get shots on these guys, whereas in another tank, a Chieftain M60A3, I could have probably been just behind it and had the gun depression to get over. So we are now going to move forward, which again is dangerous. That guy takes a shot at us. It's an RDF LT, which is a very good little tank. Fire a shot, managed to hit him even before we were fully aimed, and do 92, massive 92 damage, and we secure the kill. But now we've got a what's his Leopard 1A5. We do 426 damage. Because it was a side shot, we did get an overmatch, so if we had used heat there, it would have been much better for us. But I'm going to try and take a shot at the gunner's sight on the MBT-70, which is one of the main frontal weak spots of that tank. Unfortunately, we weren't quite aimed in fully, and we didn't hit exactly where we needed to. I've got to be very, very careful, because you know, that's he's done a bit of damage already. We're down to 310, but then of course that RDF LT also did 217. So there we go. That's the shot we were looking for. 457 damage. He returns with 163. But now we are a one-shot kill for any enemy tank. If one of their crew members has a cold, we're dead. All that's left is the MBT and a Leopard 1A5. thankfully our support has finally arrived. We can't stick around because if that guy gets another shot in, we are dead. We've got to let them push and try and support if we want any hope of surviving this battle. But it is 9-1. We're going to win 8-1 now. He's got a side showing to us. We're going to go for the lower plate, which was a little bit stupid because he was reversing and turning. So if we had waited a little bit longer on the shot, we could have put one through his side and hopefully finished him off. But he's now done to 160 odd kills by health, and we finish him off. So off to the results, and let's see how we did. Alright, and another decent result. I think we did get more experience this time, I believe. I think this may have been my first win of the day. I'm not entirely sure, but man, 4,300 reputation, it's not bad. Not quite as much credits, only 113,000 this time. Doing 2,400 damage, 5 assists and 4 spots. We came much lower down on the team this time, but our damage was still third. So that Stingray did well. We were the best of the main battle tanks. MBT 70 did well in the enemy team with 3,400, and obviously the Chieftain also pulled his weight for the enemy team. So another good match. At least we got a victory this time, and I really am hoping with this patch 0.11 that's coming out later this week that the matchmaker gets fixed, because I mean that was 8-0, you know, when we won. So these kind of whitewash games, the other night I tried to play, and 3 games in a row I was on the losing team. 3 games in a row we didn't get more than 5 kills. It was just horrible, and that really sucks the fun out of the game sometimes. So hopefully that is something that the new patch changes. I believe they are hoping to have something done with regards to that, so we can get more close games rather than whitewashes. But anyways, that is it for this video. If you enjoyed, please feel free to hit the thumbs up button down below and consider subscribing for more Armored Warfare content, as well as World of Warships and War Thunder and a few other things from time to time. But yeah, that's it from me. Thank you very much for stopping by. This is Predator 458 signing off, and I will see you guys next time.